Hi guys, Tommy here, and today we are doing another YouTube video, and I might release it as a podcast as well. And in this video it's going to be about the space hoax and other forms of indoctrination in mainstream and other forms of media. Before I get into this video, I want to explain that I was thinking about how I could serve you guys the best, how I can serve the world in the best way. I haven't done too many videos like this about breaking down external things too much and my take on them, but I think this is really important. I do believe life is a bit more of an internal spiritual journey, but this may help you almost turn to within yourself a little bit more, as there's a lot of deception in our external world, and I do believe the best way I can serve you guys is to explain some of that, explain some of what I can see to you guys. So in this video I'm going to do that. I'll start this video with a story. When I was about, I don't know the exact age, but let's say when I was about 8 or 9, I have a sister who's a bit younger than me, 4 and a bit years younger than me. She was, let's say, maybe about 4 or 5 years old. I was a bit older than her, and we were speaking. We were sort of looking at the sky, and we were having a kind of conversation. And I was mentioning to her about how the sun was actually much bigger than the Earth, and it's just further away, and that's why we see it smaller, because that's what I'd been taught at even that quite young age, about 8 or 9 or so. I'm remembering it's around that age. And she said to me, at her sort of 4 or 5 years old, age, she said, no, it's not. It's I can see that all the sun's inside the Earth. Which I think she said, this, how come the sun's inside of the Earth then? Because that's what she saw using her senses. The sun must be smaller than the Earth, or the sun is smaller than the Earth. I went, no, actually the sun's bigger than the Earth. It's just further away. It's much bigger, and it's far away, and that's why we see it as small, and it just looks like it's inside of the Earth rather than it actually is. And I think at the time I managed to convince her of that, which is quite unfortunate for what I'm about to tell you, because of my conditioning. When I was a bit younger, during my teenage years, and probably maybe started around that time, I would have assumed, and I'm sure this is the same for a lot of people out there, particularly a lot of men. I used to be quite into, and a lot of kids as well, a lot of boys, and a lot of people really in general. I used to be quite into space and science, and I thought science had the answer to everything. I thought we generally knew everything there kind of was to know about science. Maybe not everything. There was still a few things we didn't understand, but I thought we had a general understanding of it as a civilization, and I believe that. I thought we understood a lot about space, planets, our universe. Also, we understood most things about human history, our human nature, and things like evolution as well, which would have been a bit more past human history. And I thought these were all things that we'd proven they were true. And I thought we understood them ultimately. And it wasn't until I got to my early 20s, around the pandemic kind of time, where I thought, a few things were pointed out to me through people and sources, and I was shown a different side to things, particularly about human health and medicine, and human health, and a bit of a different side to human health, biology, particularly viruses at the time with pandemics and stuff, with the pandemic. And I basically came to the conclusion that we had been, you know, we as a civilization have been lied to about a lot, and there is a lot of deliberate deception going on from a source, whether it's a group of people or whatever it is. I'm not entirely sure, so I won't speak about that too much, but ultimately we are being led astray to a degree, or to quite a big degree, and yeah, not everything I thought was true, particularly at this time about human health. And it led me to do a bit more digging, and it was, I think, around 2021 where I came across a video, because I was thinking to myself, if we're not being told the facts about this, particularly with the mainstream media, and what else are they lying about? So I did a bit more research and a bit more digging about different things, looking into a few conspiracies. Not that I was just believing everything I saw, but looking at things and trying to think, using my own discernment, my own judgment and my own intuition as what I'll recommend to you guys to do whenever you're doing your research and looking into things. I'd always recommend you think for yourself. You take on board what people have said, but you're thinking for yourself as well. Or most importantly, you think for yourself. I watched a video. This was what really changed my perception on the nature of our resistance. I watched a video on Eric Debay, and he was kind of debating someone, and at the time before I clicked on it, I thought, I could just watch a video and, pick it apart. It was a video on BitChute, and I'd recommend that platform if you're trying to look for things. I think YouTube's a bit more, not saying BitChute's perfect, but YouTube's a bit more deceptive in terms of what they're going to present to you. There's going to be a lot of trickery on there and deception, and you're going to have to dig a bit deeper. You can find things on YouTube, of course. I'm doing a YouTube video now that hopefully can reach some of you guys, but I think it's more the algorithm, wants you to see certain things, and it's going to hide certain things, particularly if you're unaware or not open to certain things that I'm saying and deeper truths that other people are saying. So I was on BitChute. I thought I could pick apart this Eric Debay video, and I clicked on it, and as I was watching it, I kind of had this feeling when he was sort of exposing a bit of science, and he was speaking about a bit like Freemasonry, and I think he spoke about sort of some of the astronomers or astrologers, if you like. I guess maybe more astronomy, I think you'd say, like Neil deGrasse Tyson and things, and he was kind of exposing how they are basically like industry puppets a little bit. And I kind of, when he was sort of explaining these things and going through the video, I kind of felt in my heart and soul that there was, at least some truth to what he was saying, and I felt that what he was saying, particularly about the flat earth, was true. Not saying I'd, trust Eric Debay with everything, and I completely follow him. I don't watch that much of his content, but particularly with this, I thought he was telling the truth about sort of the earth being kind of flat, and there's been a lot of deception about NASA and the shape of our earth, our universe and space and things. And I think he also touched on evolution as well, how that was a hoax. This might seem a bit crazy to some of you guys watching it, but I thought it was crazy at a time too. 3-4 years ago, I would have thought the same thing. This is, kind of crazy talk. I never would have been open to it. But after that video, and I wasn't completely sure, but I had a suspicion. I think in my hearts of hearts, I knew what was true. And during that time and for the next couple of years until now, I've learned more and more, and things that basically validate what he was saying, and that specific belief about the earth being flat or it being a sort of plane of land, space being basically a kind of deception, and us being led astray and being lied to about this stuff, and it lies about the nature of reality. If you're looking for any of this stuff, I think BitChute's a good place to look. I know I've just mentioned it, but if you go on BitChute and search up space or flat earth or something, you'll find more than you probably would on YouTube, if you just search something up and we're having a little scroll, because YouTube, the stuff's a bit more hidden, as I've said. But if you do want to look into any of that stuff, I think BitChute's probably got a bit more, you can get a bit more out of BitChute. I'm not saying it's perfect, but you do get a bit more out of it. rather than YouTube and other social media apps. If you were interested in looking at that, or any other stuff that you want to do some research on that you're not getting from the mainstream kind of sources. Having said that, I follow a lot of posts on Instagram. You'll find them probably if you use TikTok or Twitter, whatever you choose to use, Facebook. You'll find a lot of truth on there if you look in the right places. So it's not all bad, but yeah, you just got to do a bit of digging and be a bit open-minded to what they're saying on there. So yeah, over that time, from back then until now, I kind of saw a few different things, and it kind of confirmed my beliefs and my suspicions about what we were being lied to, what I was being lied to about, and what we were all being lied to about, to a degree. Now, you might be wondering, after I've said this, why would the system lie about something so big? Why would people lie about this? And it's a good question, and there are reasons that they would lie about it. They all link in. The reasons sort of link in with each other, but the reasons are sort of to do with hiding the truth from you. You don't really understand your nature and your true existence. They give you a story, therefore you're going to be easier to control. You don't know your true history. You don't know your true potential as a human being, your true power, because I do believe humans can be extremely powerful. We can achieve great things, particularly when we work together, but individually also. It turns you away from God, and the reason it does that is because with what I've spoken about them lying about us, about the nature of our resistance, that the fundamental existence of our reality, our fundamental reality, I guess you could say. And it makes it, in this case with space and evolution and the universe in the way the mainstream proclaims it is, and science proclaims it is, it makes the world seem arbitrary. It makes the world seem random. It makes you seem random. An accident. The Big Bang is an accident. Millions and millions of stars and solar systems through floating through space. We're on a spinning ball, like evolving from monkeys. It's all random. It's meaningless. We're an accident. Your life doesn't mean anything. Okay, so it turns you away from your truer nature, your deeper nature, and it turns you away from God ultimately. And that is the reason they lie about it and keep you from this truth. That's going to stop you reaching your true power. And it is, if you look at it that way, it is really satanic teachings, really, because it's a crime against God and humanity. So that's the reason they lie to us about it, or the source, whatever it is, lies to us about this, to trick us and confuse us. We're easier to control and for their agenda, and we're powerless, and we find it difficult to find the truth. Not saying we can't, but we do find it difficult, particularly when a lot of us are confused about it. It's the reason I'm doing this video now, to spread this information. I'll finish this video on the fact that we go against our senses that we're kind of born with, our intuition, our judgment, our discernment, really, through what we're conditioned to believe and what we're told, what we're basically brainwashed to believe, indoctrinated, and what they tell us, the information they tell us, or the misinformation they tell us, the lies they spread to us. And they build up in our minds and our subconscious, and we have these false beliefs, these erroneous beliefs. And we go against our senses, just like the if I come back to the story about me and my sister, when we were a bit younger. She's a bit younger than me. I'm a few years older than her, about 4 years older than her, kind of had a bit more conditioning at the time. And even if I'm at 8 or 9 at that time, that's still quite a young age, but already I've had a little bit of conditioning, enough to believe something to go against my senses, and to teach my sister who's using her senses. You can see that the sun it's local. You can see that it's sort of within the earth. It's it's still up there a bit, but it's not 93 million miles away or whatever they're telling us. And it's kind of it's within. It's closer than what we're told, and she can see that and she can sense that. She's using her senses, and me with a bit more conditioning at the time, and been lied to just enough to kind of come away from my senses, my intuition, and believe a lie that's been told to me. So we to finish this video, I'll just say, just remain open-minded. Don't try to come back to your childlike kind of intuition and discernment. Be open-minded to the fact that your current beliefs might be wrong. I remember doing an earlier video where I did actually mention this. Just be open to the fact that you might not know everything, and try not to be too ignorant about that you kind of having all the right beliefs. You're right about everything, and you understand and know everything, and science and we as a civilization sort of know all there is, when that probably couldn't be further from the truth, and we're lied to about a great deal. So that obviously doesn't help with that. When I was probably about 3-4 years, maybe let's say 4 years ago, I would have looked at myself now and thought some of my beliefs now are that crazy, and my current beliefs now would be kind of crazy to believe, and I would never have thought that I would have thought the way I do now about being open to the fact that we might be lied to about things as big as science and space and evolution, and basically we kind of assuming we knew everything. But the mindset I'm coming with now, and the way I'm thinking now, is I know from a more understanding, a smarter perspective. I've taken on information, I've used my judgment better, and I can understand why someone might think the way I did when I was 19, 20, before I understood about the deeper levels of the deception that we're dealing with in this earth. Just bear that in mind when we're going about our lives. We don't know everything, and let's not be too ignorant when we're going about our lives. We don't know all the answers. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that. That's all I've got for you today. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.